Saving money will never make you rich. I know that sounds insane coming from a finance channel, but stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why some people save their whole lives and stay broke, while others invest and retire decades earlier with far less effort. And I'm going to show you the exact number where saving stops working and investing takes over. Let's start with a question. If you save $10,000 in a bank account today, how much will it be worth in 20 years? Most people assume it'll grow. It won't, not really. At the average savings account interest rate, your $10,000 becomes maybe $12,000 in 20 years. Meanwhile, inflation alone would have made that same $10,000 need to become around $18,000 just to keep the same buying power. In other words, your safe savings account quietly lost you money. You didn't lose it to a bad investment. You lost it by doing nothing. Now here's the part that shocks people. Take that same $10,000 and put it into an index fund instead, averaging a historical 10% annual return. In 20 years, it doesn't become $12,000. It becomes over $67,000. Same starting amount. Same 20 years. One decision, save or invest, creates a $55,000 difference. That's not a rounding error. That's the difference between struggling in retirement and being financially free. So why does everyone still save instead of invest? Because saving feels safe, investing feels risky, and our brains are wired to avoid risk, even when the safe choice is actually the riskier one long term. This is the biggest misunderstanding in personal finance. People confuse volatility with risk. Yes, the stock market goes up and down in the short term. That's volatility. But the real risk, the risk of running out of money in 30 years, is far higher if you never invest at all. Let's break down what saving is actually good for, because I'm not telling you to stop saving completely. Saving is for short-term goals and emergencies, money you might need in the next 1 to 3 years. Your emergency fund, a vacation next year, a car repair. That money should stay in savings because you can't afford for it to drop in value right before you need it. That's the correct use of a savings account. It's a parking spot, not a growth engine. Investing, on the other hand, is for money you won't touch for 5, 10, 20 plus years. Retirement. Long-term wealth. Financial independence. This is money you give time to grow, and time is the single most powerful ingredient in building wealth. Not intelligence, not luck. Time. Here's a real comparison so you can see this play out over a lifetime. Let's say 2 people. We'll call them Person A and Person B. Both start working at age 25, and both set aside $300 a month. Person A puts that $300 a month into a regular savings account, earning around 1% interest. By age 65, after 40 years, they'll have saved roughly $180,000 in contributions, growing to only around $190,000 total. Not bad, but not great either, especially after 40 years of consistent discipline. Person B takes that same $300 a month and invests it into a low-cost index fund, averaging 10% annual returns. By age 65, Person B doesn't have $190,000. They have over $1.7 million. Same income, same discipline, same monthly amount. The only difference is where the money went. That's not a small gap. That's the difference between working until you're 70 and retiring comfortably at 55. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but what if the market crashes right before I need the money? This is a fair concern, and it's exactly why timing matters. As you get closer to needing the money, financial advisors typically recommend shifting a portion into safer assets. This is called an asset allocation shift. But for the first 20 to 25 years of your investing journey, staying invested through the ups and downs is statistically the better strategy, because historically, The market has always recovered and grown over any 20-year period. So here's the real question you should be asking yourself. For every dollar you have right now, is it doing a job? Money in an emergency fund is doing its job, protecting you from a crisis. Money sitting in a regular savings account for 10, 15, 20 years, doing nothing but losing value to inflation, that money isn't doing its job. It's sitting on the bench while it could be out there working for you. Let's simplify this into a rule you can actually use starting today. If you need the money within the next 3 years, save it. If you won't need the money for 5 years or more, invest it. That's it. That's the entire decision-making framework. It's not complicated. Most people just never sat down and separated their money by timeline, so it all sits in one place, doing the least it possibly can. Here's how to actually start applying this today. First, calculate your emergency fund, typically 3 to 6 months of essential expenses, and keep that in a high-yield savings account, separate from your other money. Second, take anything beyond that emergency fund that you won't need for 5+ years, and move it into a low-cost, diversified index fund. Third, and this is the step almost everyone skips, automate it. Set up a recurring monthly transfer so this happens without relying on willpower every single month. The uncomfortable truth is this: the reason most people never build wealth isn't because they don't earn enough. It's because they keep money in the wrong place for too long. Saving isn't wrong. Investing isn't guaranteed. But using each one for the job it's actually designed for. That's what separates people who retire early from people who work their entire lives and still come up short. So take a moment right now and think about your own money. How much of it is sitting in savings that you actually won't need for the next 5, 10, 20 years? That money has a job to do, and right now, it's not doing it. If this video changed how you think about your money, hit like, subscribe for more videos like this, and let me know in the comments how much of your money is sitting in the wrong place right now.